We're all constantly asking these huge questions about the future, about technology, about where we're all headed. But what if the biggest answers we're searching for aren't out there at all? What if the real answers are actually inside us? Okay, let's dive into this.
Like, will AI make us all obsolete? I mean, it's a huge fear, right? Are our jobs safe? Are we about to be replaced by machines? It's a question that keeps a lot of us up at night.
Or how about this one? We're spending billions and billions to go to space. Is that this incredible, noble quest for knowledge? Or is it just a crazy waste of money that we should be using to fix problems right here on Earth? And then you've got art. I mean, in a world that's all about practicality and efficiency, what's the point of a painting? Or a song? So you've got AI, space, art. They seem totally random, right? But they're not. They all point to the same, deeper battlefield. See, the thing is, our anxiety, it's not really about AI or space budgets or art. The real struggle, the real enemy, well, that's a lot closer. It's actually inside every single one of us. So the source material for this explainer gives us this amazing concept, Fanao, which we can call the internal afflictions. Basically, think of them like these little saboteurs living in your head. They're those destructive inner voices that cloud your judgment and just stop you from growing. And look, this isn't just about having a bad day or feeling a little down. The source is super clear about how serious this is. These voices aren't just harmless thoughts. Their one and only job is to make you self-harm and self-destruct. That's their entire goal. Okay, so what does this actually look like in real life? Well, it's that arrogance where you think you've got it all figured out, which just isolates you. It's that greed for one more quick hit of pleasure. Or that sneaky voice of laziness that pretends it's just being practical, telling you, don't even bother trying. And of course, that paralyzing doubt that stops you in your tracks. And what's wild is how these afflictions can twist something as good as learning. On one hand, you've got people who are learning for show. Their goal isn't to actually get better, it's just to look smart, to hoard facts to win arguments. And the result is just a bigger ego and zero growth. But then you have learning to do. Here, the goal is total transformation. You're not just collecting info, you're applying it to change yourself. The result? Real change. You can actually feel it. Okay, so if these internal afflictions are the poison, what's the antidote, right? How do we even begin to fight back against these saboteurs in our own minds? Well, the answer is all about building a totally different kind of strength. It's about true connection. And that brings us to this other incredible idea, Yuan Fen, or affinity. Now, a lot of us might hear that and think, oh, that's just fate, something that just happens to you. But that's not it at all. This is something you build. It's active. It's a profound connection to a teacher or a set of principles that you create through intentional practice. So how do you actually do that? It comes down to some really specific actions. First, you got to have genuine respect for wisdom. Then, and this is a tough one, being willing to follow good advice even when it's hard. It's about offering sincere support, consistent praise, and making real promises or vows to yourself to get better. This is not a passive thing. And to really get how powerful this is, the source shares this amazing story. It's an allegory, really, about a guy named Milarepa. His journey is the perfect example of how building this kind of affinity through pure trust can completely change you. So the story goes, Milarepa's master gives him these completely impossible and honestly kind of crazy-sounding tasks. Like, hey, build this huge house on a mountaintop. And as soon as he does it, after all that work, the master says, great, now tear it all down and put every single stone back where you found it. See, it was never about the house. It was a test of pure trust. Every time he obeyed, he was dismantling his own inner afflictions, his own negative past. He was literally rebuilding his own inner world. And this story is a perfect illustration of how connection works. It has levels, okay? So at the most basic level, you just feel joy. You hear an idea and you're like, wow, I love that. That feels good. The next level up is understanding. Okay, now you actually get it. It makes sense in your head. But the highest level, the absolute pinnacle, is doing. That's when you don't just understand the idea, you live it. That's the game changer. That's where everything transforms.
All right, let's bring this full circle. How does all this inner battle stuff connect back to AI and space exploration and all those big modern questions we started with?
So, remember our question about AI? The source makes this brilliant point. A tool is just a tool. It's neutral. A gun can be used to defend someone or to attack them. AI can be used to cure diseases or to cause chaos. So the real question isn't whether AI is good or bad. The question is, what's the state of the person using it? It always comes back to our own inner world.
So that inner voice, that saboteur, the fawn now, man, it is so convincing. It'll give you a million perfectly logical reasons why you should just be lazy, or why you should doubt yourself, or why you're right and everyone else is wrong. But here is the absolute key. You have a choice. You do not have to listen to that voice.
And there's actually a super simple 3-step strategy to fight back. Step 1, just recognize the voice. Get good at spotting it when it pops up. Step 2, never forget its mission. Its only goal is to tear you down. That's it. And step 3, do the opposite. Whatever that voice tells you to do, consciously, deliberately, do the exact opposite. If it says quit, you take one more step.
So, at the end of the day, the real battle for your future, for your happiness, for your success, it's not going to be fought against some super intelligent AI or debated in Congress. It's fought right here, in the quiet space between your own two ears. So the real question isn't about the future of the world. It's about you. Your inner voice can be your worst saboteur or your most trusted guide. So, which one are you listening to?